Hello, and welcome to our first ever episode of Atlantic County Stories and Lore. I'm your host, Curator Jenny, and today I am here with an awesome guy who is not only magical and creative, but funny, talented, and who is very into his community. Please welcome to our show, Rudy Reel.
Now the pressure is on. Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming. This is very exciting. I'm so happy to have you here.
I am excited to be here. This is, even from our first initial interview, everything about this has just been super welcoming and fun, and I'm excited to be able to share it with people that watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is awesome. All right, guys. Well, we're going to get into it, but first let me pour Rudy a cup of delicious coffee here.
I love the French press.
I know, isn't it great? Awesome. There you go, man. Cheers.
Ooh, and this smells so good. What coffee is this?
Oh my gosh, this does smell great.
Shameless self-promotion.
Love More Coffee Company. This one is called Identity Dark Roast.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I like that. 100% Arabica coffee. Am I going to just pronounce that terrible?
Sure, why not? They're not watching. Arabic? I know that's wrong.
Alrighty. Oh, this is good. I'm going to get all kinds of caffeinated up here, and we're going to get into some good conversation here. So, Rudy, let's start off with some background info.
All right.
I know right now you're currently living in Atlantic County, but where did you grow up and what inspired you?
Oh, okay. So, two-part question. I grew up in Wildwood until I was about 8, and then from 8 up until 18, 19, I was in Ocean City. So I've always been South Jersey, Cape May, Atlantic County, currently in Summers Point, so I haven't traveled too far away. What inspired me was the second part? Or what was the...
Yeah, what inspired you as a young Rudy?
Oh God, this sounds so stupid and cliche. I just wanted to be happy. And being the oldest grandkid in the group, and the only boy, I didn't have a lot of family that, like, there wasn't this sibling rivalry of, like, me and my brother. My sister was 4 years younger, so we didn't go out and play together. There were no other boy cousins, so I was really alone in the family trying to find what made me happy. Not into sports like the rest of the family, so I had found skateboarding, games, movies, comedy, magic. In the early 90s, it was The World's Greatest Magicians was on TV every year, The World's Greatest Magic, and little me ate that stuff up. And that was kind of the seed that grew into me. I hate that I did that, but I do that a lot.
It's awesome. No, that is really cool. I can't say I've ever watched that show.
Oh, well, probably because you had friends and are a girl. But a boy with no friends loves magic.
No, seriously though, no, that sounds really good. I wonder if it's like available on like replays and stuff. Like, is there any way to like watch it now?
So I'm sure on YouTube I know they have clips of individual magicians from that, because that's kind of what the whole show was. Every year they'd get 20, 25 magicians to really do like their signature trick. In retrospect, now what I realize it was just promotion for their magic shows. Right. But as a kid, I watched it, I was like, oh my God, I like that style, I like that style. Learning about the one guy that didn't have use of his arm, so could do amazing magic with one arm. Now, as somebody that gets frustrated not being able to do anything, I was always able to go, well, if that guy can do it with no arms, or with one arm, there's no excuse. You have to practice and be able to do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So
that's awesome. No, I love that. That's just so cool. Again, and I always say like inspiration is where you find it. But I love what inspires us. And even as a young person, it's like what inspires you as a young person, it translates and travels into your adulthood.
Yes.
So that being the case, you actually do magic shows. Yes. And you do magic tricks and you're a magic man, just like the song, right? And so how did you first get into that and like where did it go from there?
So this is probably one of my favorite, I can't believe that's how it got there stories for me. And I realize now it also spawned into a bunch of different things. So I come from a very Italian family where after dinner, everybody'd sit around with either coffee or who was drinking wine or whatever drinks. Mine was soda. And we'd either be playing games, telling jokes, or my grandfather had this magic routine with dealing out the poker stuff and all that. So whenever there was a big group, he was at the head of the table doing this thing. And I remember thinking, oh my God, my grandfather is a master card magician. I want to be able to show him that I'm part of it too. So I started getting books from the library and watching things on TV, The World's Greatest Magicians, where they would teach you a trick or two. And after I had about maybe a half hour, 45 minutes of card tricks, I sit my grandfather down at the table and I'm like, I'm ready to show you. And I wow him for 30 minutes. And he goes, oh, that's really cool. Have I ever shown you the magic trick I know? He only knew that one stack deck poker thing. I thought he was a master magician. Essentially, he was a fraud. But that led to me accidentally learning a crap ton of magic to impress somebody that didn't know magic.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a good start. I gotta say, listen, not only did you wow your grandpa, but then you kept going on after that. So that is really awesome motivation with a young man. I love
it was
that.
at that point I kind of went, well, I have all these skills that I accidentally acquired on purpose by practicing them. What do I do with them now? And I went, well, I had so much fun showing him. Let me go show other people. And that was the happiness I was looking for. The social interactions around something I could identify with other people. I wasn't a sports fan with the family. I was the only boy, so even I didn't have anything that entangled me with anybody. But magic was a way to get people, this is deep, and it was a way to get them out of their world and into mine without them putting up a fight.
Yeah.
A little manipulative.
Listen, it's all about connection, honestly, and even magic can get you there, and I think that's really awesome. It's it's like that ingenuity. You know what I mean? You're like, how can I get this to work? So now this became a sort of business in a sense, right? But you expanded out from that. And you started doing balloons and all that too. So there was more to it that kind of blossomed out of just wanting to give people some fun, entertaining, cool things to check out. Yeah.
And I think this is the first time I'm ever going to publicly say this. And it's going to be weird saying it was strictly selfish, 100% selfish.
It's okay.
Not shellfish, selfish. I want to do things that make me happy. And I don't really care if anybody else gives a damn, as long as I'll crack jokes just to make me laugh. I don't care how bad the dad joke is. If I'm giggling, I'm gonna say it all of the time. And there's this really weird phenomenon that if you do what you like, you will attract people that like the same thing. But if you try to attract the people you want to attract, you will push them away and get the people you don't want. That's a weird lesson to learn, especially on your own.
Okay, wait, can you go back one more time and
Absolutely.
say that?
Absolutely.
Because I had to okay, no, just go ahead, one more time.
So,
for the people in the back, like myself, okay.
If I wanted to write a song
right.
that everybody would like, I've got to find out what you like and add a verse for that. I've got to find out what he likes and add a verse for him, and I'll add a verse for him and her and her and them and them. And that verse you might not like. Or that verse he might not. So now I'm sitting here going, all right, well, this group of people likes the first part. This group likes the second. So anything I make to make somebody happy makes somebody else unhappy. But if I say, you know what, I don't care what you like. I like this. Now when people see it, the only people that are going to talk to me are the people that like what I like. So as long as I'm not trying to make them happy and make myself happy, I'll find people that like being in the same happy place.
Yes. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You can't make all people happy all the time. You can just make some people happy some of the time.
But you can tell them all to kick rocks.
Yeah, you can. And definitely you attract people with what you like just by being you and doing what you do, which is a lot of things, really. So it's great, though. You know what? I love that, like, you just expand out on what you like and you make it work. And I think that's true for a lot of us. It's like, I don't just have one interest. I got a lot of different interests. I'll go to knitting club, or I'll, sit down and read a book or whatever, go for nature walks. Like, we all have a lot of different interests. So it's great to do those different interests. And if you can make that into a business like you've done, even more the better, my friend. Yeah. So, okay, so you got the balloon business too. And this business have a name?
So it is Lucky Duck Entertainment.
Okay.
Because it started with the magic. And it started with magic because I hated balloons. Or it started with magic because I liked magic, but it stayed with magic and not magic and balloons because I hated balloons. And one of the reasons I hated the balloon stuff was the one balloon monkey. That's a weird phrase, but we all know the generic one balloon dog. And I do a joke where when I was growing up, all the balloons were one balloon, because all my balloons are multi-balloons, and they all looked like a dog. Because they had two legs, a body, a tail, a face, and there's some, horse is a dog with a long face, a giraffe is a dog with a long neck, a cat is a dog with whiskers. When you're doing stuff like that, it's imagination. So I can tell you it's whatever it is. But a one balloon monkey was really hard to make and didn't look like the dog. And I would pop it and I'm like, this is stupid. I stopped doing it. Then several years later, I saw a two balloon monkey or a three balloon monkey if scrapped, depending if you're a nerd like I am. And it looked like a monkey and was really easy to do. And I kind of got back into it, and 10, 12 years after I had started I got into balloons by accident because of this one monkey. Doing it just for fun, not as a business, just because I like doing artsy stuff. And with a pencil, I'm garbage. But with balloons, I can get stuff that looks like things. Doing the things that made me happy, somebody else saw it and then hired me to work in their restaurant. I was able to leave the casino at the time because I was making more money doing what made me happy than doing the casino thing. And then the magic kind of took the back burner because I was getting paid to do the balloons. So I backed into a real job or an income just by following a stupid monkey.
All right, folks, take that to heart.
Do with that what you will.
Don't forget to follow stupid monkeys in life. Whatever that monkey is. I love that. That's awesome.
So every day you say things that can be attributed to you.
Yeah.
And you don't always know what you're going to say that people are going to remind you of.
Right.
And I assure you, I did not think chasing the monkey was a thing I was ever going to tell people they should do. So if that has an impact on you, thank you. You're welcome. I don't know what to say to that.
That is awesome. For the record, Rudy and I have done some vending shows together, and we did a show in Atlantic City one time, and it was a 420 show, right? And he made me an awesome weed leaf balloon sculpture. Not gonna lie, there is a photo of it. I do have a photo of it. I will insert it here once we do editing. Yes. Yes.
Ah, I'm so glad you remember that.
So expand off of one balloon and add a couple more, and then you can get more awesome, interesting things. That's like a metaphor for life. You know what I'm saying? It's like when one isn't working out, maybe you just need to add another element and another element until it actually all comes into play.
Ooh. So that actually kind of plays into something I know you're going to bring up later on my new philosophy on life that kind of spawns out of that.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm excited to bring that up later.
All right. So you also love mini golf and gaming. Talk about that a little bit. Talk about this.
So growing up in Ocean City on the boardwalk, there is a mini golf course on every block. So it's, as a kid walking the boardwalk, it's inevitable you're going to end up playing every course and enjoying that because I like competition. I like just playing mini golf and not realizing as a kid that was going to play a bigger part later on in life, because who would think that? I'm trying to think now, it might be like 12 years ago, there was a local league that had started, and I had joined that and played a season or two. I think a season or two before I won the second season, and the grand prize for winning that season of the League of Mini Golf was a trip to the Myrtle Beach United States Pro Mini Golf Open, the yearly championship. I think it was a $20,000 or $25,000 grand prize for first place. And I was like, oh my God, I won in South Jersey. I'm going to crush it there. No. They are serious mini golfers. I think the score that took first place the year that I competed was like 24 or 25. It's 12 hole-in-ones or 13 and the rest twos. They are no joke. And it is it's a world you didn't think existed.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's a 3-day long tournament. Yeah, for those of you that are wondering just how lonely I was.
Listen, you're just doing what you love. It has nothing to do with that, man.
It was just, it's so much fun. It's a weird thing to brag about, though.
I think it's great, though. You know what? That's a part of having these conversations is, listen, like, I didn't know that there was mini golf tournaments.
Yep.
So there's a local tournament.
There was local tournaments, yep.
Is there like a countrywide tournament? Like, does that expand outward to the country? And then like the world tournament? Like, do we get world mini golf tournaments? I mean,
yes.
We should.
Yes, we do. And we have different styles of mini. Oh my God. So if you didn't think I was a nerd yet, buckle up. There is mini golf, there is putt-putt golf, there is goofy golf, there is the cement or metal courses that play over in Australia where it's not even like getting it in the hole. You got to shoot it up a ramp and land it in a net. It's a completely different concept of mini golf. And I want to travel all over the world and play them all. And I found that the best way to do that was to find a way to get other people to pay for it for me. Mm-hmm. So if you come up with a business of some sort and people go, hey, that's really fun, I want to see what else they'll do, they'll buy your merch, they'll buy stuff, and then you get to live out your dreams while sharing it with other people.
Yeah. That's really cool, actually. Not for nothing. That would be super fun to watch. Like, I don't know. I want to watch a championship of mini golf. You know, and then they go around to the different golfing, places, and like it's just so cute, everything. The little freaking windmills and like the little animals, and it's cute.
What's your favorite course to play?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I do remember there was one in Ocean City though, and it had waterfalls. That was really cool. But then there was another one that it was like the haunted mini golf. Mm-hmm. That was cool too in Ocean City. Yeah. So yeah, this is fun. I mean, I always remember taking the kids to mini golf and just having so much fun. I haven't played it in a long time, but it is definitely a good time.
We'll have to, after the podcast, we'll go play.
There you go. It's awesome. So, from mini golf and then all the games that you love, you came up with an audiobook called The 12 Universal Laws of gaming.
Dearest Rudy, I am writing this letter to hereby humbly apologize for not stating the correct title of your audiobook whilst doing this podcast. It is titled 12 Universal Laws Through the Lens of a Gamer. Please accept this letter as a most formal apology. All my best. Curator Jenny.
Yeah,
Talk about this.
Talking about the credits of I mini golf and I balloon and I do magic. I also do comedy and stilt walking. I'm a ordained minister. Anything that I start to like, I make a part of my personality. So I'm not just the IT guy, or I'm not just the shelf stalker or anything like that. It's multiple different things. So when it came to the games, I was looking at what I like to play and what makes me want to do that. Finding all of those things that I like doing, but I wanted to be able to explain it to other people, especially when I became a father and had kids. You want to do your best at preparing them for the world, and I felt lost. I didn't want my kids to be lost. So I started looking into a bunch of different religions or spirituality things, kind of like I did when I was younger, the stuff that made me feel like, okay, I understand a little bit of what's going on, but I want to be able to articulate it in a way that other people can see where I'm coming from. I was reading a book about the 12 universal laws, and the little voice in my head started comparing it to games that I play. And I went, oh yeah, that does make sense. Then I would be looking at another chapter or another law, and a voice in my head would go, that's kind of like the magic routine that you did. If you want this to happen, you got to do it this way. And I'm reading another chapter, and a voice in my head goes, that's like if you were writing a script for either a TV show, a movie, or a magic routine. And I started realizing I have lenses that I look at the world through that I've never identified as how I look at them. So after reading the book, I said, I want to pick one of my lenses to look at these 12 laws through and word it like that. And I started looking at the games and went, okay, so if there's the law of relativity, how do things interact with each other? There is no such thing as good or bad until you see how it all plays out. I've definitely drawn from the face-up discard pile of cards because I needed that card. But if I had drawn the top one, it was a card I needed better. So even though I thought I did a good move, there was a better move. So I started looking at all of the laws like that through different games and how I move throughout life, and figured out a way to put them in a short little 18, 19 page pamphlet. And from there is kind of germinating this seed of the Church of Gaming. Learning more about yourself by learning how you play games. And it's helped me figure out why I do what I do in real life more than anything I'd ever come across before. So I'm curious what other people's lenses are.
Wow, that's very fascinating, very deep also.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, really, that's very cool. It really is. So his book is actually on Spotify. He sent me the link, and we'll also put the link in the show notes for all you people out there too.
And it's free.
Check it out. And it is free. Yeah, it is definitely free. But that's an interesting take, because, you know, I know in writing the book, it's like it came full circle for you. And I listened to the book too, and I never actually thought of things in that way. So it definitely opened up a lot for me too, and why I do things the way that I do, and in relation to games, because we don't really think about it, but when we are playing a game, we're putting our own personality and what we're trying to get out of it into it, right? We have an objective, but this applies to not just the game, but to life as well. So, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that you can be like self-reflective, because you need to be able to kind of take a look at yourself and say, okay, like why do I do the things that I do? And just get a little bit introspective, because it definitely allows for more personal growth. And through that lens, it expands you out in other ways of your life that you never knew or thought possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were a pawn, which piece would you choose to be when you got to the other side? Do you want to be the queen, the knight, the bishop, or the rook?
Yeah. I love that. So do you actually have a group that gets together and does games?
Oops, we forgot to mention that the name of this gaming group is called the Church of Gaming.
One of the restaurants I work with down in Wildwood named Kimberlies, on Friday nights during the winter, we do a game night. We bring a bunch of games down and it's open to the public. Come in, grab some food. We have small competition games like it's called Bingo. For those of you that know, it's like a miniature soccer game where your finger flicks the soccer ball, and fun for all ages. The skill level is this. So if you can flick your brother's ear, you can play this game. Or there's card games, dice games, because just like people, or just like games, everybody is different. Do you like games of chance? Do you like games of skill? Do you like games where you're trying to mess with the opponent? Again, that goes to what kind of person are you? If I like games where anybody could win, it's not strategy, I wonder how I move in real life. Am I planning for the future, or am I just doing what's fun now? Makes for a fun game, but you might not win.
Facts. That's some facts right there. That is true. But we always at least try, my friend, right? We always at least try. So they get together and they play the games. Where do they do this?
So
Do you have a spot that you guys meet at?
So during the winter, we were doing it at Kimberlies. Now the summer's getting ready to pick up, so I don't know if we'll have that space, because
Okay.
summertime in the shore towns is packed. But
Yes.
we are always looking for more people to play games with and more venues to play games at. So if you guys are looking for more gaming people, drop us a line, because we need more friends.
Get involved, guys. Get involved. Definitely important. Yes. So now let's get on to talking about what we started with.
Oh.
Our coffee, because he also loves coffee and community. Got the games. You got to have some coffee with the games, right?
Yeah, well, this goes back to after dinner at the Italian household, everybody sitting around and drinking. I was coming home from a gig a couple of years ago, and I think this is the first time I've ever said this publicly too. My hands started to cramp up. I had just done like a 4.5 or 5 hour long gig for 4th of July. Probably twisted close to 2,000 balloons, if not more. And it was driving home, my fingers were all jammed. I'm like, oh, that's no good. Like, I know there is a cap of how long I can do this for. Mm-hmm. I don't like that, because that means I can't do what makes me happy. Which I realized I can still do whatever I want. Like, I can still make balloons at the house. The problem is I wouldn't be able to get booked if I can't perform. Mm-hmm. So I went, so it's not, here's the game theory. It's not an issue of not being able to twist balloons anymore. I can't twist balloons for the amount of time somebody else tells me I need to twist balloons for.
I get it.
So I had to figure out a math or magic or strap, whatever label you want on it that helps you figure out how to move the way you want to move. I had to figure out what to do to supplement income without sacrificing my happiness. Mm-hmm. And it just so happened I was listening to a book called 12 Months to a Million. And it was about businesses that had built up within 12 months, 3 months, or 3 years for some of them, and sold for a lot more money. the lady that made the poopery thing was in there. Somebody that did the Cliff Bars was in there. And they got to a coffee company. And the way they were explaining how the coffee company marketed that was super successful for them, that little voice in the head, I have a lot of those, told me, I said, like, man, I would do it completely the opposite way. Like, that's not at all the way I would do that thing. And the voice said, then do it your way, kind of like I do everything else. And I went, okay, you gotta, let me play devil's advocate with myself. I'm pretty sure I've turned myself crazy by thinking or overthinking things. And I ran every what if, or that won't work, or why you shouldn't do this. And every time I came up with a why you shouldn't, there was another voice that went, we'll solve that problem. And eventually it got to the point where I didn't have any more reasons not to do it. So I said, you know what? I am gonna start something where it's about inclusivity. It's about sitting around the table and being happy again. And I had come up with Love is Love Coffee, which ironically, people didn't like that name. We did a...
That's crazy.
Yeah, we did a market research thing and gave a couple of different options to pick from, and even different logos too. So this isn't the original logo as well. And I think we tested 5 or 6 different names and 4 or 5 different logos. And it came back that this name and this logo is what everybody liked the most. Okay. I enjoyed it too. And I went, you know what? It's not specifically about me. Because if I wanted to be that guy, when it's my company, it's my thing, I'm that guy you don't want to play games with.
Right.
So I went, you know what? If that's what people like, the idea is more about the community. So if the community likes that, who am I to argue?
Yeah, yeah.
So now we are Love More Coffee Company. Our intention is to help the community by giving people the idea to be social and talk again. I don't care if you drink the coffee. I don't care if you like coffee. Just talk to people in real life. Go out, be social, be real, be people, be loving and caring. So even though it's a coffee company, I think it's a community company. If you like something you're doing, if you love something, we want to help you be a part of it. We're currently sponsoring a podcast for a comedian from the Poconos who has put out a limited podcast series. Terry G, Out of the Box with Terry G. We are sponsoring another podcast locally with some movie watcher friends of mine down the Tubi. There is a BMX racer from EHT we're sponsoring. If you're interested, we'll throw one to you too. There's anything to help people help themselves, I'm fine with. The way that we do it is we have coupon codes that give the listeners percentages off, and then we cut a check to the person promoting it, because if you're doing work, you should get paid for it. It's an easy way for everybody to try to benefit without upfront costs to themselves. I think if more people or more communities acted like that, we'd be in a better spot.
Mm-hmm. So you're sharing the profits with people, in a sense, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like if they promote it a little bit or something, and then they get a cut, and then then say that next person promotes it a bit, and then they get a cut. And so the coffee is really about community and sharing and communicating and actually having these kinds of conversations like we're having right now, just over a cup of coffee.
Yeah. There's a gift shop in the Shores in Ocean City, which is a assisted living home that I do entertainment with. They have the coffee in the gift shop. So they get their percentage when the stuff sells, and they have a coupon code, because if you were to go in to see a family member, stop off the gift shop and buy a bag, they get their cut, I get whatever. But now you go home, you hop online, you order the same thing. You're paying full price, and that place doesn't get a cut. So if you type in the coupon code, you'll still get your discount and they still get their money. Because as far as I'm concerned, the only reason you know about it is because of them, and I think they still deserve their cut.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm a fair game player.
And that's his personality, folks. I love that. Oh, good stuff, good stuff. All right, so yeah, we're at the bottom of the line here. Unless you got some cool other stories you want to like insert or whatever, you know, you got some side stories for us, or even stories that do relate.
So I guess this is this relates and is an extension of what we've already talked about. The restaurant down in Wildwood, actually I work at 2 restaurants down in Wildwood. One is Duffers, which is a nostalgic favorite of mine from when I was a kid. I apologize for smacking on the mic if that hurt anybody's ears. I forgot I was wearing one. And I work at Kimberlies, which is the original place I started doing balloons 11, 12 years ago when it was called Jimbo's. And it's been through a couple of owners since then, and the new owners, Kimberly. Both places I work have mini golf courses. So during the summer, you will see me almost 7 days a week at a mini golf course down in Wildwood because we are partnering up with Kimberlies for mini golf at Kimberlies. I'll be at that golf course all of the time. So come down, challenge me to a game, and if you win, I'll buy you a cup of coffee.
That's a good deal. That's fantastic. All right, so tell us, please, how can people enjoy and support all of these things that you've talked about today, all of your passions and creativity and coffee, and also how can they hire you?
So, online is obviously the place to get and see most things nowadays. So through Love More Coffee Company, Lucky Duck Entertainment, Mini Golf at Kimberlies. You can find us on Instagram, some places on TikTok. We're kind of all over everywhere on account of we do a little bit of everything. You can catch me anywhere, but you can't pin me down to one place. Ooh, I really like that.
Man of many talents and interests. There you go. I love that.
But my favorite way is to just come see me.
There you go.
I'm much better in person.
Well, I always enjoy having awesome conversations with you.
I bet you say that to all your guests.
And fun fact, so I do know all of my guests. That is 100% true. I started this because of the community that I found myself in, and I was like, man, I am surrounded by so many awesome, creative people. And also I'm going to be doing people that are local to the community that know a lot of history too, because I want to learn more about that, and I'm sure you do too. But anyway, I've actually known Rudy for, I'm going to say, the better part of 20 years. And I first met him in Ocean City when I lived in Ocean City, and I was raising youngins, and he was raising youngins. So that is how I first met him. So all throughout the years, you know, we haven't always been chatting like we do now, but we would see each other here, there, everywhere, different spots, you know what I mean? Local community, you know, it is a small community. So I know you probably know 7 people. Out of those 7 people, I probably know maybe 4 of those people. They might not know me, or some people might not know me, but I will probably soon. And so will you, if you get out and hang out with Rudy at the mini golf and maybe come to some game nights and and get yourself some coffee and balloons. So we can't thank you enough for being here and for sharing all of this with us, because we just love hearing about what you're doing. It's so awesome, and it's so many cool, different, fun things. And so I definitely hope that through this, that you get to meet more people and they get to meet you and do more cool things as a community, everyone. Get connected, stay connected, be involved. That's what this is about. I hope to inspire you. I hope you're inspired by me, and I hope all of you are inspired by us and get out there and do what you're passionate about in Atlantic County and wherever you may be. All right, much love, everyone. Thank you.
Later days.
Bye.